Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. The New York Giants decide to not make any moves during the trade deadline. Well, not any moves. They did decide to release Nick McCloud, which was a head scratcher to a lot of people. For me, the timing that it came when the news dropped about him being released, I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're making space because instead of being sellers, they might be buyers and try to make room for another contract. But trade deadline came and went, and Nick McCloud wasn't on the team. Azeez Ojulari, Darius Slayton, Evan Neal, all those other rumor players that were gaining some interest possibly, still are New York Giants at the end of the day. But for the talk about the Nick McCloud thing really quickly, it was really strange because, this is halfway through the season, and if you weren't planning on making any moves, why cut the guy? He is on a 1-year deal, $3 million. You already paid him half his money, so what are you really making that move for? There's some rumors going out that during negotiation he was refusing to budge, and there's now a new rumor going around that Joe Schoen is like a scorned person when people don't, accept his deals. He gets upset, he takes it personally, and things happen. We already saw with Saquon Barkley how, on the Hard Knocks, when he said the whole negotiation the first time in 2023, he felt a certain way about it. It was exhausting, and said, that's your job. That's what you're supposed to do. Who cares if it's exhausting? Get the job done. Get the deal done. And you see how in 2024, he didn't even really want to sign Saquon Barkley. So maybe there is some truth in the rumors of him taking things way personal, especially when it comes to getting deals. We saw it with the Julian Love deal, how he didn't accept the deal, left, tried to come back, and they snatched the deal off the table. So maybe there's some truth in that. I don't know. But again, trade deadline came and went. These guys didn't make a move. So Azeez Ojulari still on the team. Darius Slayton still on the team. And the risky thing now is these guys are going to be free agents in 2025. Are you going to try to get an extension done? Because that's the only thing that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, when you really think about it, do you want to get a fifth in exchange for Azeez Ojulari, or do you want to accept a fifth or a sixth in exchange for Darius Slayton or Azeez Ojulari? You really don't want to, because these guys add real value to this team. But it's not like the New York Giants are winning. It's not like we're in contention. It's not even like, in some cases, we're being competitive on the offensive side. The defense is another story. So you take the risk of these guys walking for nothing. We've seen it happen with Xavier McKinney. We've seen it happen with Saquon Barkley. Again, with Julian Love. These guys ended up walking, and we didn't get any kind of compensation back. And at the end of the day, something is, in some cases, better than nothing. But yeah, so to me, the only thing that makes sense is that you're going to try to get a deal done with Azeez Ojulari. Why not bring Azeez Ojulari back? And when you look at the market for Azeez Ojulari, he might have a market the way that he's been performing, but other teams are looking at his injury history. You see him in his rookie year, then you see 2 straight seasons where he really can't stay healthy and stay on the field. So to me, that means that a lot of teams are probably going to look at Azeez Ojulari as a prove it, a 1-year prove it type deal. And is that what Azeez Ojulari really wants? And when you think about that as well, when I think about the New York Giants and Azeez Ojulari, he probably gets the longest deal from the New York Giants. It might not be the biggest price tag or the biggest amount of money, but at least he'll get the years and the security with the New York Giants. And that's just my thought process on it. When it comes to Darius Slayton now, Darius Slayton just seems like a guy that wants to be a New York Giant for life. He has had his ups and downs, with the drops, and then had some highs with some great catches as well. But the thing I keep going back on when it comes to Darius Slayton is you're not paying any other wide receivers in the room. You're not really paying too many guys, period. And depending on what happens with Daniel Jones, you should have enough space to sign a guy like Darius Slayton to a 2-year or a 3-year deal, depending on what he's looking for, without it really hurting you or stopping you from making any kind of moves. And again, you have a guy that's a good number 2/number 3 type wide receiver, depending on what your room looks like. And if you get rid of a guy like Darius Slayton, or if you let him walk, you're just going back to the drawing board and drafting and trying to fill another hole that you possibly created. And it doesn't make sense to me. If Wan'Dale Robinson was a bigger threat, if Jalen Hyatt could actually get on the field and prove himself to play, I think he can, but I'm just saying he's not getting the snaps or the targets to be able to prove himself. And then maybe it's easier to let a guy like Darius Slayton go. But the way things look right now, to me, you definitely got to keep a guy like Darius Slayton. But that's just my opinion. Let me know how you guys feel about that in the comment section down below. But just thinking about the game coming up this week, really briefly, because I really just wanted to talk about the trade deadline stuff. The New York Giants have the Carolina Panthers on Sunday in Germany. If the New York Giants lose this game to the Carolina Panthers, we might be looking at an entirely new regime anyway. And maybe that's another reason why they didn't want to make too many different moves, because they're still trying to prove to John Mara that they deserve a chance to stay here. And I know that John Mara gave them the vote of confidence, but that was 2 losses ago. And when you look at it right now, it does not look good. And when I'm looking at this rest of the schedule, yes, you can say we can beat the Carolina Panthers. Yes, we could probably beat the Saints. But can the New York Giants actually do it? And I think these guys need to have a couple of more wins. 2 wins, 3 wins. And at the beginning of the season, if you told me we would have 4 wins, I would say you're crazy. And everybody's getting fired. But we might be in a situation where we get 4 wins, 5 wins, and maybe one of these guys are fired. I don't believe that Daniel Jones comes back. Obviously, that frees up a lot more cap space, despite what we're going to owe him with dead cap. But we're at the time right now where the New York Giants need to start thinking about the future. We're going through the motions every week as fans, preparing for these games, getting excited. If you're a guy that's a season ticket holder, you're not trying to go to some of these cold games when we keep moving forward on Sundays, especially if the team is not performing. You're not trying to sit down and watch that stuff. And that's just some of the thoughts that I've heard myself from a lot of Giants fans that are season ticket holders and going to these home games, having fun at the tailgate just to prepare for some misery, on the field. But it is what it is with that as well. But just wanted to do a quick video about the trade deadline. Let me know how you guys feel about us not making any moves. Let me know how you feel about Nick McCloud getting cut, because I still think he added value on the special teams, even though he was getting cooked on the defense. But he's a special teams guy. We forced him in the position of being the guy that we played on defense. I was high on Nick McCloud over Flott in the summer, because when you look over the past couple of years that he's been here, he's been popping and flashing. But this is exactly why he was popping and flashing, because he's not a number one. He's not a starter, I should say, at least for the New York Giants. I've seen guys leave the New York Giants, go to other teams, and actually become good too. There was a cornerback, I can't remember his name, but he ended up getting bounced around. But he's a starter too. I think it's for the Falcons. But yeah, he wouldn't. Guy with a mole on his face and everything. I can't remember his name right now. But he wasn't getting a lot of play here. But he ended up being a starter. He went to Arizona. He actually still might be in Arizona. He went to Arizona first, and I believe he's with the Atlanta Falcons now. But he's a starter and actually playing some good ball. But outside of that, the New York Giants got to get it together, man. We absolutely got to get it together. I don't know how to fix it. Clearly, Joe Shane and Brian Dable don't know how to fix it. But hopefully, they can get some things right and get a plan together. If not, we'll be looking at a whole entire new regime in 2025, again, despite what John Mara said. But that would, yeah. And it sucks. It sucks when you think about it, but, can it get any worse? That's an inside joke, because we already know that it can always get worse, because we've seen it every time somebody has said that. So I'm just going to hope for the positive. Go to Germany, get a win from the Carolina Panthers, over the Carolina Panthers, I should say. And, let's go Giants. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.